Welcome to module number 4. This is the last module wherein we are looking into some of the steps that we carry out to develop the full business case. Now, the purpose of the full business case is to identify the marketplace opportunity which offers optimum value for money. The purpose is to set out the commercial and contractual arrangements for the negotiated deal. The purpose is to confirm the deal is still affordable and to put in place the detailed management arrangements for the successful delivery, monitoring, and evaluation of the scheme. Much of the work involved in producing the full business case focuses upon revisiting and updating the conclusions of the outline business case and documenting the outcomes of the procurement. So the steps involved are step number 8, wherein we procure the value for money solution. We perform action number 25, we revisit the case for change. Action 26, we revisit the outline business case options, and then we action 27, wherein we detail procurement process and evaluation of the best and final offers, also called as BAFOs. Let's do a bit of deep dive pertaining to each of the action. Action number 25. So revisit the case for change. This is where we do that because the rationale for the project may have altered since the outline business case was approved due to evolving business needs and changing service requirements. This is where we update the strategic case. We confirm that the case for change remains as set out in the outline business case. Any additional business needs and requirements that have arisen since the submission and approval of the outline business case will require the case for change to be revisited and updated. And we ensure that spending objectives are smart. This is part of action number 25. In action number 26, we revisit the OBC options. We confirm that the options identified in the outline business case, economic case are still valid and their rankings remain the same. The purpose of this action is to evidence that the preferred option remains the same as that identified at the OBC stage. Any new options must be clearly identified and any adjustments to existing options should be explained. We confirm the conclusions of the OBC appraisal still remain valid at the full business case stage. What else do we do over here? We revisit the procurement method over here. We confirm that the project has been procured by the most appropriate method. We refine the public sector comparator. Now, refining the public sector comparator before undertaking any further appraisal to reflect knowledge gained from the procurement. This is to enable a like-for-like comparison of the cost of providing services in-house with the service provider solution on an outsourced or privately financed basis. Revisions to the public sector comparator should avoid mimicking any design, engineering, or operational attributes offered by service providers during the procurement phase, and focus on ensuring that scope of the required outputs remains consistent so as to enable meaningful comparisons to be made. By the way, a public sector comparator is what is the option looking like if we do not go with a private entity. I mean, even before we go with a private entity, the similar work is done by a public sector or somebody within the public sector organization. What would that kind of look like is the idea behind the public sector comparator. And then we do a bit of risk adjustments. We revisit the cost of risk retained by the public sector as calculated within the public sector comparator outlined at the OBC stage. The main service risks in design, build, funding and operational phases of the project should be fully identified and quantified at the full business case stage. Action number 27, we detail the procurement process and evaluation of best and final offers. So we update the economic case to provide a summary of the procurement process and how the best and final offers, also called as BAFOs, were evaluated and preferred bidder selected. Now, the purpose of this action is to evidence that the recommended service provider offers the most economically advantageous offer in relation to other service providers, and that the option offering best public value. So this is where we confirm the procurement strategy, route and evaluation criteria were followed as set out in the outlined business case, and explain any changes. This is where we prepare the economic appraisals for each of the shortlisted option or shortlisted service providers at the best and final offer stage of the procurement, in accordance with the guidance provided for economic appraisals at the OBZ stage of the business case. The recommended option should then be appraised against the business as usual, do minimum and public sector comparator and other in-house options as required, taking into account any adjustments made as a result of earlier action of revisiting the options. And the option offering best public value should be the choice recommended for approval, subject to affordability. And these are some ideas that you would need to keep in mind.